Let's take a look at creating a template. And what a template's going to do is it's going to allow us to set some, I guess, parameters of the drawing and then save that. And so what that's going to do is it's going to make it a lot easier every time we create a new sketch, a new drawing, to click on our template, and we don't have to remember to set a lot of these parameters before we start. One of them being, we look down and in this lower right corner, and it's not showing now, but when we create a drawing, it shows as if we're in imperial or metric. And so I like to create a template for both, so I've got each at the ready. A lot of the drawings, a lot of the projects in this book are going to be in metric, so we're going to want to create one of each. And so if we start by going up here to File, click on File, we're going to do New, and you can see I've got some templates set up already, but you shouldn't have this in yours. You're going to go to Part, and we're going to double click on Part, and we're going to open this up. Okay, when your screen opens up, it should be blank like this. We're going to go up to our settings, which is this little gear looking thing, and we're going to click on Options. Now, this gives us our system options, our document properties, our systems. We're not going to change a whole lot of stuff in here, but you can see that I've got a lot of different options that I'm able to change. Whether it's external references or assemblies or file locations. Again, all this could be based on how your company does management of the different drawings and stuff. A lot of this probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense right now, and I don't even know a lot of the stuff in here, but we're going to change the things that we need to change. And so we're going to go to Document Properties. Even though there's a lot of stuff we can change, let's jump right down to Detailing. A lot of this stuff is what we are going to be able to see on either the drawing or the sketch. And so not sure what yours looks like right now as far as when you downloaded the program, but I like to see the cosmetic threads, the datums, reference dimensions, notes. Let's see what else is in here. Those are fine. All right, now let's go to units. All right, right now our units are on custom. We're going to go to millimeter, gram, and second. So highlight the MMGS. We can change our decimal for millimeters or for metric. I like just 2 decimals. That's fine. If we're in the imperial, a lot of times I will take that to 3 decimals. Check here. We can change our rounding. That's fine. Okay, let's jump down here to image quality. So image quality is going to be how finely detailed your sketch or your drawing is. I typically will push mine up, both the sketch and the wireframe. The computer I use is optimized. I have a lot of RAM. I have a really good processor. And so I'm not going to notice any slowdown. Based on the computer that you might have, you might notice a significant slowdown in the processing of when it does the rendering, especially when we do solid models. And so, again, this is going to depend on the type of computer you have. And so there's really nothing wrong with running it in the middle or a little bit down to the slow side. You're probably not going to notice a huge difference unless you're doing like realistic rendering with photorealistic quality parts. Okay, click on OK. That's going to bring you back out to here. We look down here now, and I can see that my drawing is set to MMGS, which is millimeters, grams, and seconds. So one other thing that I'd like to change, and again, if you once we get started here. If it's something that you like, you can keep it. But the newer version of SolidWorks, what it does is it creates an active sketch on the front plane when you create a new file. I don't like to do that, and so what we can change that by going into Tools, Options, and then under Sketch, Create Sketch on New Part. I'm just going to unclick that and say OK. I still have to remove this one from the drawing, and I can do that by just hitting this X here. Discard changes and exit. And now I'm ready to save my template. Because one thing SolidWorks will not let you do is we can't save this to anything if there's an active sketch open. So for creating a template, you have to kind of get rid of that now that I think about it. All right, so let's go up to File. We're going to Save As. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to call this, because I already have one, I'm just going to call this Metric Temp 2. And then under Save as Type, we want to look for Part Template. And so we come down here, it's a part, so it's a .prt dot, right? And then Save. Now what we can do is if we go back up to, and you see up here the kind of file it is, now if I were to go over and go up to File, New again, I can see in here now I've got Metric Temp or Metric Template 2, which is the one we just created. So now let's just cancel that. This is still active. Let's go back up in here, up into Options. Go to Options. We're going to go to Document Properties, Units. Now let's change this one to inch pound second. For my length, again, it's going to be however you want. I'm going to put this to 3 decimals. Everything else we're going to keep the same. Again, let's just check, because this should be the same though. Say OK. And now everything is the same except metric. So now we're going to go in, we're going to go do File, Save As, and this time, and it's already, so it's back to part. So we want to go back to my part template, and this time we'll just say inch. So now if I go to File, New, you can say I have Metric Temp 2 and I've got Inch Temp 2. So I've created 2 new templates, and now all those settings are automatically in there. And so when I open SolidWorks up and I want to create either a metric part or an inch part, I've already got a template, and I can double click on one of those to start the drawing with all the properties that we've put in it.